What's up, bitches? Wait, should I not start the video like that? Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Building Southlake. I know it's been an entire week since you guys have had a video of Southlake, and a lot of you guys actually went crazy, like, craziness last week because there was no Southlake. The reason for that was I was really busy at work last week. I can't really go into too many details because a lot of it is kind of confidential, from work purposes, but work was crazy, so that's why you did not get a video of Southlake last week, because it really started around Tuesday, and I was working a lot of overtime, and it's a whole thing. It sucks being a grown-up. I mean, like, some of you guys may be wondering, like, maybe it'd be nice to be a grown-up. It's really not. I mean, there are parts of it that are fun, but a lot of it is not. Paying bills, doing all this, it's not fun. And it's fun being able to go out and buy stuff, but then you realize how much money you spent, and then you're really sad. Okay, let's see. What do we want to work on today? I was kind of flying around trying to figure that out. And maybe we might work on the mall. It's been a while since we've worked on the mall. We still have quite a bit to get done there. I mean, filling in these two areas. Let's see, what else do we have? I mean, we have that building to get done, which I'm actually not a big fan of this building anymore. I think it's a little bit too big from what I was originally intending it to be. So, I'm not sure how I want that to work. I was also kind of considering working on the rail system, but again, I'm not too sure like how that's all going to work yet, so I'm trying to figure out where do I want to start with everything. There's so much that I want to do, but the problem is some of it takes hours on hours of time, so it's really hard trying to figure out like, well, I could do this here, but then it'd take me 4 hours to do it. So we got to figure it out. So I'm kind of thinking, maybe let's try to come up with a design for this here. So I made this base of a building, but I'm not sure the actual design for it yet. So let's try to figure that out. And so last week, or 2 weeks ago I should say, because I didn't upload a video last week, that a lot of you guys really liked this building for Madrina's, and it's actually a new sponsor of mine. They sell some amazing coffee. But that video was sponsored by them, so I actually made this building for them. And a lot of you guys actually loved the skyscraper, so I'm happy you guys liked it. Also, speaking of that video, a lot of you guys went crazy over hay bales. Oh my goodness, it was amazing to see how many comments there were. So many people were saying, no, Alex, you need to put them facing straight up. It looks better that way. And I want to let you guys know, I did do that originally. It was not like I just went, no, I like it that way. So I get that it might look a little bit brighter this way, but in my opinion, I don't like the texture of it. The texture doesn't look that good in my opinion. So I wanted to stick with this here because it looks a little bit cleaner, and that's why I wanted to stick with the yellow wool. But I might use the hay bales for like parking lots and stuff like that because it might stand out a little bit more from everything else. And the other reason why I placed them like this is because I like the two lines in the center. It kind of separates things a little bit. It adds a little bit more detail to it. So that's another reason why I did not put them like straight up and down. So a lot of you guys were very mad about that, and a lot of you guys commented on it. I appreciate the comments, but I just want to let you know that that's why I did not do it. So hopefully we don't get as many comments this time around. So what do we want to make this building out of is probably the first question we want to ask ourselves. And there's some other materials I want to try to use at some point, but I'm not sure how to use them. I mean, like Enderstone here, it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look like something, like, I don't know. It doesn't look like a building material. It looks like something you'd find in a kitchen. Like, I don't know why, but, this is going to be really hard. This is one of the hardest parts about making a building, guys, is trying to figure out a certain material that you want to use because, for example, I'm not going to use stone because we use stone on this building right here. So I don't want to have two stone buildings back to back usually. Every now and then you can't really avoid it, but I don't want to do that here. So I'm trying to figure out what kind of material we want to go with. We used white and it looks like light gray clay, so I don't want to use those materials. Maybe some wood, maybe brick too. I mean, we haven't really used brick too much around here, so we might be able to do this. Let's try brick and see kind of like where it goes from here. This building isn't going to be too tall. I mean, it's going to be decently tall, but not, extremely tall. I'd probably say a quarter of the distance up. Probably like there, I think would actually be pretty good for this building. Let's kind of take a step back and look to see how tall it would be. Yeah, I think it's actually a pretty good size for, the base and everything. Good place to start. So 2 blocks here. Let's make sure we're starting on the same point. So we need to start on where the window starts. Kind of a weird place to start, but why not? Right there. So we have bricks, so we know what kind of material we're using for that, but I usually like to incorporate another material for the windows and stuff like that for the building. So let's try to figure that out. Usually I like to use quartz, but I usually do that, so let's try to avoid using quartz this time around. Maybe, I'm thinking maybe stone brick stairs, or maybe even acacia. I wonder how that would look, because they're kind of the same in texture. They kind of might just give it a little bit of a different texture to it with also looking the same. So we're going to try acacia. I'm going to see how that looks. If it doesn't look good, we can always replace it, but, you know, let's try it first before we knock it. And let's go back down. Yeah, but the city is really coming along. We are almost to episode 100, guys, so I already have something special planned for episode 100. It's going to be a lot of editing on my part and a lot of going back, you know, to older stuff. And I have the hiccups from, I'm not sure what. What did I have to eat or drink? I did have Dairy Queen ice cream. You know, shout out. They're not sponsoring this video, but, you know, I haven't had ice cream in a while. But, you know, it tasted good. So, 10 points to Gryffindor. Okay. Let's go back down here. Yeah, so a lot of the, you know, crazy things are going on right now with work. So you're seeing a lot less videos on my channel. And a lot of that is because I'm actually kind of transitioning back into tutorials. And a lot of you guys are going to be wondering, when is Season 3 of Houses coming out? I know a lot of you guys are wondering about that. I get questions about it all the time. When's your next house tutorial going to be? Because again, I get it. That's what my channel started off as. I get that people want to look for that stuff. So I'm not, a lot of people think I'm never doing them again. Now granted, I said I never would. But I kind of had a change of heart about it, you know? I mean, I thought about it for a while. And I kind of thought, you know, why not make them... Why not make them again? I mean, people like them. If that's what my channel started off as, why not kind of keep the routine of doing that? So I'm going to go back to doing tutorials, but they're not just going to be Minecraft tutorials. They can be tutorials in any game that I feel fit, that I want to play. And, you know, like, for example, I've been uploading quite a few videos of Scrap Mechanic lately. You might see some tutorials pop up in Scrap Mechanic for how to build a certain car or a certain house. There's a lot of other games, like Portal Knight is another game I actually want to play sometime soon, which is another kind of Minecraft game, building game to an extent, and you guys might see tutorials in that. So you're not going to be limited to just Minecraft tutorials, and the goal is to hopefully broaden my audience there as well. I mean, so as of right now, my audience obviously is a lot of Minecraft. That's like 90% of what my audience is, because that's what I've been doing for the past 3 years. But I've always said I wanted to, you know, get to a bigger audience, and I think if I do tutorials in other games with this channel, that might be a better way to keep my authentic, like, that would be the wrong word, authenticity is what I was going to say. I don't know a good word for this. Keep my channel's roots, but also kind of branching them out at the same time with the same thing, because if people want tutorials, they're not just going to want tutorials in other games, or in Minecraft, they're going to want tutorials in other games too, because let's face it, at some point Minecraft is going to die off. I've said this for a long time, and that's part of the reason why I did change my channel name, and so when it eventually does die, I'm covered there, but I don't expect that to happen in a long time, but I want to be prepared for when that day does come, and I want to be able to make stuff for people still. So you might see tutorials in Halo. Portal Knights is another one I mentioned. Scrap Mechanic. Any game, like I said, that I feel fit to record in, I might just be willing to put up a tutorial or just a showcase. For example, going back to Scrap Mechanic here, because there was one uploaded 2 weeks ago. So I uploaded a Scrap Mechanic video of a mansion, and you know, a lot of people like my mansions, and usually I do showcases in just Minecraft. I wanted to branch it out a little bit, so I made a mansion in Scrap Mechanic to, one, hopefully bring in more audience for that and from that game, but at the same time kind of show you guys what can be done in those games. Because when you see, at least in my opinion, and I do this, when I see what can be done in a game, it makes me want to play it more. For example, like Ark Survival, I've heard a lot about the game. It's very popular, as you guys probably know. I have not played it yet, but I heard there is a building mechanic, and I've been looking up creations and stuff like that, and just the idea of what could I build, what could I try to do that would be impressive to other people. That makes me like really excited to play a game. So any game that I can build in, I usually like to, record some of it because I like to show my creative side, and a lot of you guys don't see the full thought process and stuff like that that goes on behind the scenes of what to record, what to make, and there's a lot of research done into what would look best. For example, in season 2 of houses, I probably made 30 houses for that series. I only used 8 because I didn't like the other ones. I didn't think they were good enough for my channel. And that just kind of, I want you guys to realize that if I'm going to be giving something to you guys, right? I want it to be the best it can be. I want it to be something that I can look at and say, I'm happy I made that. Now, unfortunately, some of my older videos, a lot of those houses are complete shit. Pardon my language, but they are. For example, and this one still bugs me to this day. I tell all my friends this too. One of my most popular videos is in Minecraft, obviously. It has like 4 million views. But it is the ugliest house I've ever made. And it's so frustrating that it's the most popular to an extent. Because it's like, out of all the houses that could have became popular, why this one, I'm so happy it has that 4 million views. But it's still just that extent of, why couldn't it be a better one, I mean, can't you guys just pick the better house to like? And I get it, it was a very simple house. People like simple stuff. And it was one of the very first houses for Minecraft Xbox, because I think that was almost like my first video on Minecraft, and that was probably my first tutorial in general, was that house. So I get that why it's popular, because it's kind of when Minecraft started taking off, in my opinion. And so I get why it's popular, but to an extent, looking back on it now, it's like, it's so ugly. And so it's just one of those things where it bugs me now, because I have a whole new thing of standards and things like that. And also, I want to get to the residential area of the city soon. And we might start working on that in the next couple parts, because I want to find an area, because I've been saying this, I don't want to just make a residential area right behind these buildings. I want it to feel like it actually fits. And that's the hard thing about planning out a city is, okay, I have the skyscrapers here. What can I put next to it that looks like it fits? And then you have to kind of figure out how to transition all that into a smooth design and into a city. And that is where it becomes really difficult. So that's usually why I like to have rivers. Rivers are a great way to kind of introduce that new transition. And you'll see that a lot in my videos and a lot of other people's videos as well. And it's a whole thing. Oh, we'll put slabs here. We'll do here and just go up. Bum, 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 bum. Holy crap, we're already at 13 minutes. Well, we actually pretty much got the front of this building done. I mean, we're kind of off-centered here. But guys, thank you very much for watching. It is greatly appreciated as always. I'm sorry that there was no Southlake last week. But it is back this week. So I will talk to you guys later. Again, thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys next week for another episode of Building Southlake. So, bye-bye.